What up? What up? What's City? What's happening? Welcome to another edition of the Wrap Up, aka Kicking It with the Cousins. Tony on the mic. And as always, I'm joined by my mailman, your mailman, the big wheel keep on rolling mailman. I'm talking about Oz, the people's mailman. Oz, what's going on, brother?
What's up? What's up, brother? Another week, another kicking it with the cousins episode. This is I'm looking forward to every Thursday now, bro. It's like I love hanging out with our peeps. It's just exciting. It's fun. It's off the cuff, and it's just fresh and new. I love like every all day Thursday. I'm just like, man, I can't wait, and here we are.
Yeah, no, it's like it's starting to become yeah, like I know our podcast is kind of our bread and butter, but this is a whole different dynamic. So I told you yesterday, I was like, it's becoming fun. Not that it wasn't fun, but now it's like, I don't know, like you said, like the vibe is a real cool vibe, and it's just, yeah, I look forward to it as well because it's we
Yeah,
get to just a little let the hair down a little bit.
yeah. It's just us being us, and then having people join in and commenting the hobby, just little hangout, man. Like my
Yeah,
man over here,
for sure.
Mr. James Lumen. What's up, baby? How you doing?
There he is, Lumen, and there's
Oh,
cousin Steve.
sweetness himself, Mr. Steve Splendor in the hizzy.
Absolutely. Steve says, "What up, cousins? All good, Steve." So listen, real quick, let's get the rundown of the show. We're gonna do an episode recap. We're gonna talk about is this the in your opinion the perfect time to collect? A couple hobby opportunities. Oz may or may not be missing out on some. Speaking of opportunities, may or may not be. Speaking of missing out on some opportunities, a little NBA all heart team, something that he talked about, and as always, the card of the week. So let's get into it, man. So Monday's episode, another solo episode for the Cuzzos, and we talked about you obviously going down to Florida, getting the autograph, me building rainbows, a little show FOMO maybe for the both of us. So just talk to me real quick. Give me a recap of everything on Monday and your thoughts on stuff we talked about and how you're feeling on Thursday after said episode.
It was fun. It was fun. Just talking, recapping what I did with my daughter. That was the main thing, man. Just connecting and bonding with her. And the funny thing is, she came up to me yesterday and she's like, "Dad," I'm like, "What's up?" She's like, Millie's gonna be uh in Atlanta, Georgia on June 2nd with Finn Wolfhard, who plays Mike. And I was like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah, she's gonna make an appearance there at StrangerCon." I was like, "Well, they told me at Spooky Empire that this was her only US appearance. So wait a minute here." And she's like,
Mhm.
"Yeah." She's like, "That's kind of like false advertisement." I said, "Yes, it is. I might have a lawsuit pending." And she's like, "But besides that, do you think we could go down there? I think, because I think this time I'd be able to talk to her now. Because the first time it was just like getting used to her, not really knowing how to do it. But now I think I would be able." I looked at her, "Girl, you crazy." I said, "You better go back upstairs and get on your hands and knees." And thank God we were able to do what we did.
Right.
And here you coming back, like I got money to go get another plane ticket and go. I'm like, "You crazy? Get out of here."
See, listen, you can go with your mommy. So go upstairs and go tell mom to foot the bill, and then you can have,
Yeah, that's
you
exactly. I said, "You better go tell her something."
know.
I was like, "You
Yeah, that's
crazy."
crazy. Yeah, like this time, all of a sudden, she's gonna, all of a sudden, maybe that would, her shyness is gonna come, totally go away. It's only gonna cost you like 3K to get that all out
Yeah,
of her.
yeah. Hey, you know what? That might be if that's what it takes, and to bring her out of her shell, I just might have to do that. But I listen, unless my wife comes up with some money out of her culo, that is not happening because it's not coming from the cousin Oz. But that
Yeah,
would be pretty decent though, pretty cool just to meet her again. Because what I wanted to do was Eddie, yeah, the guy that
yeah.
plays Eddie and the girl that plays Chrissy, they're gonna be in Philadelphia coming up in June.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Debbie reached out to me. She's like, "Hey, did you know about this?" And I was like, "Oh no, it's like Philadelphia Expo or something like that." So they're gonna be there, and I told Alexa about it. And at first she was, "Yeah, yeah, that's cool." But then she saw this thing with 11 coming back with Mike down in Atlanta, Georgia. Now she's trying to push for that. So
Yeah.
that's not happening.
Hmm. What? And real quick before, what's Stranger Con?
I have no idea. I guess it's kind of like a Comic
Stranger.
Con, but for Stranger Things. I
Oh
guess.
boy, yeah. Talk about show FOMO.
Yeah, Yeah, so Ziggy, yeah, definitely set the bar way too high. Now she's acting like we can go every week to go meet a, a celebrity all around the world. That,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'm in trouble.
Yeah, that's not happening. Let me get some of these comments real quick. Cardboard Trap House, happy Hundo y Uno. Thank you very much. Big John is here. What's going on, Big John? Yeah, man. Listen, so uh I just wanted to recap too the rainbow. We talked about me building a rainbow and trying to I'm in the midst of trying to complete another one because it's funny how these things always happen, man. It's like you get the
Yeah,
dominoes that fall because
I
I've
wanted to
been
ask
trying.
you about that. So you're in the midst of doing that, and you're having a little trouble, right?
Little bit, and I don't know if the guy listens to the show or not. So maybe by this, it'll we'll get it kind of the ball moving. But I don't want to get too far into the details because I don't want to make bring any competition my way. But yeah, I mean we've been bouncing ideas back and forth. I'm missing one card to complete a rainbow, and he happens to have it, and it's just it's tough. I was talking to you with the commish. It's tough to get a deal done when you guys both collect the same player or same set or whatever. So right now, I I think we're close, but now I'm kind of I don't know where we're at because communications have kind of stopped.
Huh.
So
So, like your last communication, did you feel that it was gonna happen?
I did. I felt that it was, and then I just said, "Hey, one last time. These are the terms. Are you good?" And now we're
Nothing.
kind of just
So you got left on red.
No, I didn't even get left on red. So
Just
at least I have that. So like I said, hopefully nothing happened and everything's good. It just I have to check my phone and see if I've been left on red. But no, but yeah, it's definitely this is the first time I try to do a trade or a deal with a person who collects the same person, the player as me, and it is tough. It is tough. He even said so. He's like, look, listen, this is our guy, and I'm like, I get it. And a lot of times you might have to overpay to get the deal done. Somebody's gonna overpay.
yeah,
One of us is gonna. It's probably gonna be me,
yeah.
but you know, I
I mean,
mean,
he tried to flip the script on you
yeah,
when
yeah,
and try to collect what you had
yeah,
once you got the 101. So yeah,
yeah, yeah. I was like, no, 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 that no, we don't want to do that. So I don't know. We'll see if it gets done. Uh, hopefully what we got here. So look, all right, Zach and Porter are here. Good evening. Stopping by to say hi and thank you, Zach. Appreciate you. Steve Splenda's missing the commish. Yeah, I don't know where the commish is at tonight. He might show up. He likes to show up after
yeah,
we
he's
turn
the
the lights
closer.
out. Yeah, yeah. Mookie Chilson. Oz, I'm in Orlando. People here are still buzzing about your 11 auto. They're calling you father of the year.
Oh well, appreciate that.
Look at
Shout
that.
out to Orlando. Ooh,
Here you
that's my
go.
city.
Yeah,
That's my second city, baby.
yeah. It's you and Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, all day.
So
Appreciate you.
listen, man. Talk to me about why you think this is the perfect time to collect or start building your collection.
Yeah, a lot of people right now they're in that chill zone that we talked about a few weeks ago, where it's like they're in between purchases from before, and now they're looking forward to the national coming up, or just even with the season winding down with the NBA. Baseball is kind of like in a standstill. It's not even like mid-season yet. Football hasn't started yet, and hockey's just finishing up. So there's definitely opportunities out there for people to go ahead and pick up some deals. And man, there's plenty of things. If you're looking on, just getting up on Instagram story sales or even just eBay, man. I was checking eBay last night and I was like, wow, I got some decisions to make because it's like one of those things you want to go ahead and you want to have a nice little piggy bank set up for when you go to the national and then
Uh-huh.
you can make moves there. But it's like if you're seeing the cards and things that you want to get regardless that you need for your PC right now and you can get a good deal, why wouldn't you do that?
Yep, yep, yeah. We had Matthew 1956 Top Sky make a similar point a few weeks ago where everybody's not everybody because not everybody's going to the national, but we live in this bubble, which actually we'll talk about later. That we feel like everybody's going to national and the whole and I mean there's going to be a lot of people there, but there's going to be a lot of people not there that
Yeah.
collect. And yeah, I last year at this time I had stopped buying all like for the most part, ramping up for national because I had that really big goal in hand. This year I don't. So now I'm like there's been opportunities that have presented themselves and I haven't let them go by.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
Yeah. I
So
like that. I
yeah.
like that aggressive Tony. My
Yeah,
man, my man James Benoit, he says zero chill. Bye, bye, bye. There you go.
he's got the in sync going there.
Yeah,
Ziggy
bye,
says,
bye, bye.
"Yeah, would you start collecting a new young player or an active vet or retired Hall of Famer?"
Would I start? Let me see. New young active vet. Hmm. I would
New
go
young,
with the retired Hall of Famer.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. I think I mean we've talked about us with the prospecting. That's not really our jam. Uh, Me personally, I don't get hit in the fields with current players like I did. I mean, if you look at my collection, I don't have much modern. I don't know what it is. I can't get behind these guys.
Well, first of all, I love basketball. So if I were to get anybody of prospect, it would be in basketball.
Hmm.
But it's like, man, it's so heartbreaking, especially with my team being the Sixers. So now it's like I can't stand Embiid. I love Embiid, but if like towards the hobby and collecting his cards, it's like I would never touch him with a 10-foot pole because it's just so nerve wracking and it's just so
Yeah,
depressing. He goes from being MVP one week to a freaking bum the next, and it's like, man,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's
That's just an added. That's an added layer of emotions that you don't need.
yeah.
Where you can just go after your AI or whoever it
Yeah,
is
if,
or
if
somebody
I'm
new.
watching the game just to watch it and they lose, okay. But if
Yeah,
I put 15 to $2,000 or God forbid, go for a national treasures with RPA and go all out, spend 15-30K, and then one he gets a game 7, sucks ass, they lose by 30. Now that 30K went down to 8K real quick, and you're just like, ugh,
yeah. That's just a kick in the nuts after they lose the game too.
yeah,
It's like, why bother? James
yeah,
Benoit says everybody's looking to build up a stockpile of cash. Perfect time to buy, flush those bigger cards out.
yeah.
Yeah, a year ago, I didn't have that, kind of vision with the hobby. Now I couldn't agree more. It's like, yeah, definitely for sure. Let's see what else we have here. Steve Splenda. I recommend people collect the players or teams they enjoy. Don't buy to invest at this point. It's fair enough. Ziggy is selling Ziggy is selling Steve some KD cards. Some
Monopoly Prism at
Monopoly.
that.
Yeah. And then there's some guy in Kansas City who stumbled across this podcast and just got felt a strong sense of eagle in here. There you go.
I wonder why.
For sure. Shout out to Victory Investments, man.
Yes,
Good
sir.
dude. He's the man. Speaking of good dudes, let's bring in cousin Sal.
Oh,
Cousin
What's
Sal,
up, guys?
what's going on, brother? What's going
How you
on?
doing? The Eagles vibe has continued on,
yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
You got
See
dog
that?
back there.
Yeah,
How
I
you guys
love it.
doing?
Chilling, bro. What you been up to?
I've been busy, man. Been busy.
Yeah.
Got a lot of stuff going on, man. So,
Talk.
good stuff though, man. You guys, I heard you talking about the national. Man, I wish I could. I wish I could go to the national.
Oh, you're not
Man.
going?
I can't swing it. Yeah, I'm gonna be on vacation, so
Gotcha.
I wish I could, man. Next year, I'll meet you guys there for sure.
Cool, cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Sal, talk to us, man. You're you've been setting up, I think now 2 shows in a row.
Well, yeah, I set up at the Fishtown Card Show, which was an awesome show. Those guys know how to do it right. So if you're in the area and the Fishtown Card Show is going on, Frank and all, or I think his name's Chris. I can't remember, but he does a fantastic job. And the place was packed all day long.
Oh yeah.
So it was definitely a good show. But I actually have been in the works to kind of put my own show on for a while now. So
Oh,
partnering up with a few good people that I know under the Radar Sports and Bill Sports Cards, and we're doing we rebranded. It's called the Authentic Expo. So
nice.
we're bringing in. We wanted to kind of focus on. This is something that we've talked about before, and I think what a lot of collectors are missing in the hobby is an authentic experience when you go to some of these shows, and we're trying to look at it from the point of view of the attendee and what types of things that they would want to see and what types of things do they think could be better, when they go to shows. So, I reached out to you guys and got some, some advice from you and thoughts, because you guys go to a lot of shows. So some of those things we're going to be taking into consideration. If you want to open up the chat to that, what are some things that, people in the chat absolutely love about going to shows? What do they think could be done better? Those are the types of things that I'm looking to get that feedback, because I want this to be an experience that people walk away from saying, that was an awesome show. I loved it. So we're going to be doing a few things a little differently. When it comes to the autograph guests, when it comes to kind of one-on-one experiences with some of these athletes, when it comes to involving the vendors in the show and running some cool specials for each individual vendor, highlighting them throughout the day as well. So it's a little bit of a different perspective from it, because I've been to a lot of shows too. So
Yeah.
I want to put on a kick-ass show, that's for sure. So
No, you're gonna do a great job based upon all that, and you already have a lot of the knowledge and the experience, especially
right.
getting autos all the time and dealing with athletes. So I mean, you already have the
Yeah,
groundwork. I mean,
it's it's wheel spins and roulette for slide. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be spinning any wheels, that's for sure. There will be prizes throughout the day, but I'm not going to be spinning any wheels. But
awesome.
it's just it's like, I want this to be a show that I would enjoy too. I'm going to be walking around, I'm going to be working the floor, talking to the vendors, making sure there's anything that they need, making sure everything's going okay, and really just kind of involving the guests. We're going to have a trade night. We're going to have a trade pit, like you had suggested,
Nice.
where people can go and swap cards out. And it's just going to be a fun, good, good hearted and good time for sure. So
Nice. You got to bring back the blue light special, like Kmart back in the day. I don't know if you grew up around at Kmart, but they used
yeah, I
to do
did.
that. Yeah.
Well,
So
was that like, you get in there a certain time, or
yeah,
every
yeah.
hour
So
on the hour, there's like a deal? Yeah.
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So you got to walk around the place with a blue light, and then at a certain
And the
time,
megaphone.
one vendor, this blue light special at booth 318,
Yeah.
and the thing's going, and then the guy's running some,
Well, what was
whatever.
your first suggestion that you gave to me when I asked you for advice on what would be?
Mine?
It was somebody. I think it was yours. They said,
Oh, the trade pit thing?
yeah. Well, there was something before that.
Oh, I don't know. I'd
I
have
think
to
you
look
said
back.
strippers. I don't know.
And I was gonna
Oh
say,
yeah. Well, that I mean, yeah, that. But the only thing with that is it's probably going to eat into the vendor's
Yeah.
profit. So
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I heard there's another show in NYC that takes care of that aspect. So
Probably.
you
Yeah.
kind of be biting off of that. So you leave
Yeah.
that to NYC.
Nah,
Ain't that
but
right? Ain't that right, Mister Sport Car Therapist?
sports card therapist is here. He says Cuzos and STM. Yeah. So actually, dude, that ties in perfectly, because Oz wanted to talk about hobby opportunities, how you can come into this hobby
Mhm.
and you can really build an empire. And Oz, go ahead, take the
Yeah,
floor here.
I'm
But it's
just
pretty.
looking around the hobby landscape, and a lot of these people out here, and they're just taking the bull by the horns, man. It's like you're a perfect example, Sal. You've done this for a while, and now you're just taking all the ideas and the experiences that you've had, and you're just you're honing your skills and doing something great. You're not only doing this, but the content that you're creating. Going around and checking out man caves, and I mean, you got it. Going on from all angles, and now you're talking about having a show. So it's like really the sky's the limit what you could do in this hobby if you put your mind to it. And it's not rocket science. It's just
Right.
it's a matter of one, you're gonna have to put in the work. It's not
Yeah.
easy. You got to put in the work. You got to have a good game plan, and it's about execution. And you're just taking all the experiences that you've had from when you're a little kid and collecting and going to shows all the time and dealing with athletes and just doing all these things, and now you're just
Yeah.
expounding on it. And I think that's pretty cool. And I keep looking around like I said, the hobby landscape, and I'm just seeing everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people just, man, doing things like, wow. So
I think part of the key to getting, if you're an entrepreneur, and if you got that entrepreneurial spirit, like I've always had that. I own my own advertising agency. I've always had things going on and ideas, and I got things cooking up here. Like I'm always thinking, what's the next thing that I could do? But the number one thing that I would say for somebody who's looking to branch out or to really make a name for themselves is you really have to be, and this is kind of where the name came from, is you have to be authentic, right? People see through fake people. You can put on a good show, but if you're not genuine about what you're telling people or what you're selling or what you're putting out there to the world, people aren't going to buy it. So be genuine to yourself, be true to yourself, and build a network of people that are like-minded, right? So like that's why I'm always down to do whatever you guys want, because like I said, you guys were some of the first people that I was introduced to when I started this a couple years or last year, really. And I could tell right away that you guys were genuine people. You're good hearted. You're good people. So you keep those people close to you and you start to branch out and you build your network, and opportunities are going to start to come to you. And it's just a matter of what you do with those opportunities and how you take advantage of them and put your game plan into action and use those resources that you've acquired over the years to make the right decisions moving forward. So that's my mindset. That's my goal. But I'm always open to conversations with people. If anybody has any thing that they want to just brainstorm about or talk to me about, ask my opinion, I'm always available, as I'm sure you guys are too. And that's what I like about this. That's what I love about this hobby is the good people are really good people. So that's the best thing about this, this culture, I could say. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I've met some of the best people in the world through collecting.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And shout out to your if you guys haven't seen it, man, check out Sal's man cave episode. The last one you just did, the guy was Montreal Expo like super collector.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was, I mean, he even had the mascot. Like,
bro.
super.
It was, I walked down there and I didn't know where to look. It was just unbelievable amount of items in his collect. It was set up like it was a museum.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that he's looking to really set it up. It could easily be a museum. I mean, he's got stuff that is Hall of Fame worthy around every corner. It's unbelievable. But yeah, he's got two UP mascots who are the mascot for the expos, but it's all game used expos, game used expos stuff. So he's got things from, I showed you the clip. He's got an old Roberto Clemente like draft card from when he was in the minors, because he was drafted by the Montreal Expo, or by the Montreal Royals at the time it was. So he's got some really unique, cool stuff. But yeah, I spent a lot of time on that one because it was worth it. It was definitely worth the time for the editing and the filming and all that stuff. So yeah, it was crazy. Over 1,000 game use pieces he has.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen the video, check out my YouTube. Shameless plug. Go check out my YouTube channel, Massive Man Caves. I just posted a new episode, so definitely worth it
for sure. Yeah, you know what? I want to circle back to what you were saying about the perfect time to collect. Talk about the hobby being. I said, are we that predictable?
Yeah, I mean, it's like we kind of go through the seasons the same way like sports seasons, and it's okay. So we know now, like once the national starts coming up, we know before football starts. It's like if we just pay attention to what we're listening to on content creation, you think the national is just like one big QB convention. You know what I mean? It's like it's just you're gonna go there and you're gonna prospect on QBs, and that's all there's gonna be. And yet there's a whole different aspect of the hobby that they're going there because they love other stuff like vintage and all this other things. But it's like it's almost like it's a repetitive cycle, and it just becomes, are we too predictable when it comes to like purchasing and buying in the hobby? And isn't sometimes you just got to pause and like break from that. I mean, I'm not about that whole QB life, but some people are, the flippers and stuff like that. But I just find it funny, like it's the way it moves in cycles these past couple of years, just listening to the content, and it just repeats and everybody's doing the same thing over and over again. And I'm just thinking, like, what is the buyer? Like, who are the buyer of these things that, go to the national with the intent of just, yeah, I'm going to go QB crazy. Like, who is that?
People with a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't roll that deep, man. I can't.
Yeah, I don't know, because like our buddy Corky, we talked about. I mean, because so basically, we have this little bubble of Instagram and content creation where we live. We, as in Oz and I, we kind of, that's where we mostly hobby. Sal, you're kind of in the same bubble as well, right? So like you hear the content and you watch the people on Instagram, but then there's this whole other aspect that, like, our guy Corky, he don't, like, he's not that QB thing is not even, I can guarantee you, it's not even on his radar. He's going to national. Well, he went to national last year. It wasn't about buying NFL or NBA, whatever it is. He doesn't hobby that way. It was about digging in the binders and the Hail Mary. He's talking about the dollar boxes, stuff like that. So that it's a whole nother world, a whole nother way of hobbying, a whole nother way of thinking. So like sometimes I think we get caught up in this whole little bubble that we're in, and I'm like, you know what? There's a lot of people that they're not even thinking of it that way at all. Like, Uh-huh.
I mean, I agree. I don't get caught up in that in the QB craze. I just don't. I mean, number one, it's too expensive and it's too much risk, to invest in these guys. And they could, half of these guys haven't even played a full season yet. So, you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars on a maybe. Yeah, it could pay off, but is the risk really worth the reward? That's not for the everyday collector, man.
Yeah.
That's, I stick to what you're familiar with. Especially if you're just getting into the hobby, stick to what you know.
Yeah.
I mean, and what you can easily not regret buying.
Yeah.
If something were to happen to
Well,
it. But
everybody has that itch when it comes to
mhm.
the hobbies. Not everybody, but a lot of the people that get into it, they just want to be in that prospecting, that gambling, trying to scratch that itch. So now Wembenyama is like the big name going out there. There's cars that are going for $2,500, $3,000, like Sports Illustrated. For kids, cards like a PSA 8 just sold for like $2,500.
It's gonna be $50 in 2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
As soon as as soon as the license stuff comes out, all that stuff goes out the window. So you got that stuff, and then the college one where he's signing, which I believe now Fanatics was talking about getting with these athletes and not having the redemption cards. But I'm assuming like he signed the one card, but all the other cards are going to be redemptions in the new pack. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like I don't know.
Yeah, the ones I like are the husband. Hail Mary just said the
Hezbollah.
Hezbollah cards. Yeah, man, that little
Yeah.
dude, man, his cards. Yeah, like there's no way that those things.
I mean, is that dude making money off of that? I mean, like his cards are selling for like $250,000 for Prism
Crazy.
101 or something crazy
Like
like that.
what is the big thing? Like you know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know.
he's just like
He's the
the Dragon Madoff.
personality. I get. I
Yeah, yeah,
mean,
he's like their mascot, man.
Yeah, but
Basically,
like, damn, you're gonna put that much money into that dude.
yeah,
not me. I don't know.
yeah,
Somebody is, but
yeah.
that's
I don't know.
crazy. That it's all a fad, man. It's all the fads. People chase the newest fads, and that's never been my style, and I feel like it's never been your guys' style either. And that's why I feel like we get along, because we're on the same wavelength, man. It's like
Yeah,
I see all that stuff, and half of the time I'm like, do I feel like unfollowing half of these people because they're posting stuff that I don't really care about, to be honest with you. I'd rather follow the guy who's posting Mickey Mantles and Michael Jordans and
Yeah.
creating content that I actually feel some kind of connection to, I mean, and it does almost kind of, when you're seeing all that stuff come through, it almost, like you said, as you talk all the time about the FOMO, like it kind of creeps in on you a little bit. And then you're like, wait, no, I don't want anything to do with Kenny Pickett. What the hell am I going to do with Kenny Pickett rookies? I mean, so I'm not a Steelers fan. So I don't know. It's all fads, and people chase the fads.
Yeah.
It's in every industry. So
Well, and the thing is, the main thing, they're chasing these fads for one reason, and that's to make a quick buck. You know what I mean? They want to try to be the first ones to get on it early, no matter how ridiculous it is. They're gonna do it because they know they might get lucky and make a couple thousand if they do it right.
yeah,
But then somebody always ends up getting stuck holding the bag, and that's the
that's
sad
the risk
part.
you take.
yeah,
I mean, people make a lot of money on it though. So I'm not knocking the people that do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's a stupid thing to do. For the people that are good at it and they make money at it,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
making a lot of money.
yeah.
They're smart. They're better. They're smarter than I am when it comes to stuff like that. So I have nothing against those people. I'm just saying, if you're not one of those people, then don't try so hard to be one of those people, because it's going to end up biting you. That's all.
Don't
yeah.
try to be one and be careful not to get caught up in that hype
Yeah.
and end up purchasing something that you think is the next big thing. And then, like I said, you end up holding the bag. So Rob's talking about the follow back redemptions. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, that they had talked about that early on. I mean, I think that's good for kids. I could care less if Mike Trout follows me, or I mean, like Roberto Clemente Jr. That I care about.
Oh, see,
But
it just depends on what it is.
depends on what it is. Yeah,
hypocrite.
Mike Trout.
Be a
I mean, I don't care. But yeah, no, I think it's cool for kids. And real quick, there's a guy on a llama encased in Kansas City that says he heard Hezbollah can't take any money because of his Islamic beliefs. So I don't know.
Yeah, he could put
I
it
don't
in a
know.
trust or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I mean, he got some nice gear. So, but yeah, with the follow back thing, I mean, yeah, I guess that's kind of cool for kids. And that's totally fine. Like I said, it's not
Yeah, but I think the
really
follow back card was pulled, and then it was sold for like, some crazy amount of money. I'm not gonna quote what it was. I think it was something around like, 25 grand or something like that. Like it was sold for a crazy amount of money because the older people were buying it, veterans or whatever. But like you said, I don't really care if Mike Trout follows me because he's probably not going to see anything that I post ever
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah,
or let
maybe.
alone like it.
I know that sports card therapist is going to be DMing LeBron at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. asking him if he's up.
Yeah.
Hail Mary will be chasing his guy Stroud because that is his QB. Houston Texans
Okay.
down there. Let me see. Steve Splenda says it's a lane in the hobby, but unfortunately, all this hype has attracted gamblers, not collectors.
That's what it is.
It's
gambling. It is gambling. That same thing with breaks. Breaking is gambling.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful with that too.
Yeah.
You got to be real careful
with
with
me,
getting involved with
like
breaks.
breaking to me, again, it's like a necessary evil, man, because you have all these boxes, and to get to these cards, you need those breakers to open up these boxes to get these hits that we might not see because you can't afford those boxes. So it gives people at least an opportunity, especially with cases of Flawless or NT. You can get a little taste of that if you want.
Right.
But you get to see cards you never would see had, if breakers weren't around.
I enjoy watching breaks, man. I do. And my wife will sit there and say, "Why are you watching some guy open cards all night long?" I'm like, it's enjoyable to me. I mean, I don't know. I mean, even if I'm not involved with the break, sometimes I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Tell her for the same reason you're watching Friends for the 3,848th time.
It is something about, I mean, I don't know. It's like also, even if like I was in one where he was opening up Topps Heritage last night, and it was just pack after pack after pack of base. 8 out of 9 cards in that pack in the box were all base cards. So even just the sound of them opening up the packs and shifting through it, it's therapeutic for me,
Yeah,
I got you. Yeah, and they just run right through them. I mean, sometimes you don't even, they just fan it out and go to the thing.
Yeah, there's no hitting there.
Yeah. Speaking of missing out on things, the People's Mailman is missing out on some Allen Iversons and Stranger Things pickups because he's a little distracted right now. He's got multiple lanes going in his PC, and I think now it's like he's over here, and then when he's looking, he's missed a couple exits on the Allen Iverson highway. Oz, what's going on, man?
No, when most of us, we say we have like one PC, so I say Allen Iverson is my PC. But then it's like an octopus. So there's many branches and legs popping out from that, one PC mindset. So it's Allen Iverson, then it's Michael Jackson, and then it's He-Man, and then Stranger Things. So there'll be certain times where I get into like, okay, it's all MJ all the time. So if you look at my eBay saves, it'll just be all Michael Jackson. And then I got a buddy of mine that's been sliding into my DMs who's a big Allen Iverson collector. And he's been showing me a couple of his bangers that he's been picking up that are like grails for me. And then that Allen Iverson itch starts coming back. And I was like, man. So I started looking at all the AIs that I've been missing out. So it's like, you go on these different tangents. I don't know if it's the same way for you, Sal, but, do you have multiple PCs going on? And it's like you kind of put the blinders on and you stay with one, and then all of a sudden, you look over, you're like, oh, what was that? And then,
yeah, that happens to me. I mean, I'm always on the lookout for Jordans. I mean, every show I go to, I'm looking, seeing the cases, what they have in there that I don't have, that I can afford. But when it comes to eBay, I mean, eBay's sneaky too, man. They'll send you, if you haven't looked at something in a while, they'll be like, hey, by the way, here's some Reggie White cards that you might be interested in, and you're like,
oh, snap.
So, the eBay is a sneaky
click
devil.
here to see the results, and you're like, oh, wow.
Hey, you were watching this item. By the way, nothing's different about it. We just want to remind you that it's still here if you're interested in it. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely. I mean, I collect, Michael Jordan. I collect veteran Eagles guys. And my biggest thing that I collect, which you might not know, is I'm my biggest fan of the band Korn. So they're my all-time favorite band. I've seen them like 25 times in concert, met them in person, everything like that. So I PC like Korn autographs and like memorabilia from like the shows and stuff like that. So I have a big Korn collection, which is, I mean, I know it's a random band, and people think what you like, or what you might about them, but they're my favorite band. So I'm always on the lookout for autographs, from that band. And, I know them pretty well. So people always DM me too, like, hey, does this look legit? Or if I see fake Corn autographs on eBay, and I'm like, I message the seller, like, yo, this is trash. This is fake. I do it in a nicer way, but if they deny it, that's when I post it to the Corn groups on Facebook, say, beware, don't buy this. It's a fake item, that type of thing. So,
See,
have you guys ever asked anybody else's opinion on autographs? Like, if you weren't sure, like, do you have your go-to person to ask if you are on the fence about whether or not an autograph is real or not?
Ooh, good question.
Or how
Not
do you
yet.
handle that situation if you're not quite sure? You want to take the risk on it, or you want to just let it sit, or do you ask a third party for their opinion?
I definitely would. I haven't bought an autograph that hasn't been authenticated. I haven't.
Okay.
I know Oz probably has a story with that, but yeah, I definitely would. I'd reach out, even with other cards or something like that, where I know, like, hey, what do you think of this? And by the way, were you before I kick it to Oz for his answer, were you at Woodstock when Korn was there?
I was only like 14 years old, so I wasn't allowed.
That doesn't
to
mean
go to
anything.
Woodstock.
There was kids there.
That's true. I did try to convince my parents to let me go, but unfortunately I was denied. But I watched it on the documentary that just came out on it. I still get goosebumps when I watch that performance. So
I was this close to going to that show. I'm glad I didn't, because it was cool, but when it wasn't cool, it wasn't cool.
It went downhill real quick.
Is that the one with the Limp Bizkit?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that the documentary, it's definitely worth checking out.
Oh yeah, that just deteriorates to like hell on earth by the end of
it.
Pretty much.
This is, bro, DMX is, so now we're going in the whole DMX's performance at Woodstock was crazy, bro. He had the whole crowd, like, it was just insane. But Oz, sourcing a crowd or a person or another collector for stuff like that,
I'm definitely gonna need a Millie Bobby Brown auto aficionado, because by accident I had was going through eBay and I seen a Funko Pop that she had signed, and it was like at $20, and it was like, I don't know, 5 minutes left, and I was like, oh, they're sleeping on this one. So it got up to like $90. I ended up purchasing it, got it in, and realized I forgot totally that there was no certificate of authentication with it. So now I don't know if it came from Canada. So I don't know if the guy signed it himself or what's up. But and then when I realized, when I went down to Florida, she did the same thing. So she signed my Stranger Things card that I just got signed from her. But again, there was no COA with it. So I'm thinking this is kind of like a pattern that's repeating. So I actually
brought the card with you.
Yeah.
When you met her, be like, is this your autograph?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I should have brought the Funkos. Do you remember signing this?
They wouldn't have let you even approach her with it. They had her all on lock.
Yeah, you couldn't have fanny packs, nothing.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So listen, fellas, Oz posted a card of Allen Iverson, and I believe, is it the all heart the insert or something like that? And,
yes.
So Denny's Cards, friend of the show, commented about something, about Allen Iverson, is all heart, whatever, he'll run through a wall and all that stuff.
Yeah, he said he had the biggest heart on the court, definitely the starting point guard on my all heart team. So I read that and I was like, an all heart team. I'm wondering, Tony, if you were to put an all heart team together, who would it be? And we're not talking positionless basketball. We're going with the old school point guard, shooting guard, center, small forward, power forward.
Yeah.
At every position. Who would you go with?
Gotcha. Point guard, definitely Allen Iverson. That's easy. Honorable mention to Nate Robinson, though. Given that. My shooting guard would actually be, so I try to think a little bit outside the box. We took Jordan and Kobe out. Those are easy. We can put those guys in, and so I said, let's take those guys out and try to just run through it. So point guard, Allen Iverson. Shooting guard, Joe Dumars. Joe Dumars, if you know who Joe Dumars is, if you don't, young bucks out there, 89 finals MVP. Jordan said he was the best defender he ever played against. And he actually, when I was looking up some stuff on Joe, he I forgot about this, man. In 1990, he scored 33 points in Game 3 of the NBA Finals, the same day his dad died.
Oh yeah, yes, right. They didn't tell him that his dad had passed away till
No,
after the
Oh
game.
no,
man.
but he knew going in that, he purposely told his wife, he's like, don't talk to me, don't tell me anything about it, because he went out and had a hell of a game.
Mm.
Yeah.
Small forward Larry Bird for me. You got to have some heart to go. I mean, that guy, he looked different than everybody else when he was, coming in guys he was playing against, and he never backed down and gave it right
The
back to
original
him.
Jokic.
Gave him
Mhm.
right, yeah, but he would talk too.
He's a
Larry,
trash talker, man.
yeah, Larry's a low key killer, man. Power forward. This was where I was kind of torn, but I went with Kevin Garnett. Um,
Nice.
I could have went Rodman there, but I went
Mhm.
KG just because. I mean, dude, KG MVP, bro. I mean, intensity, crazy. Like, just you want to do to run through a wall. KG is that dude. And my center, again, out of the box, because you gotta have heart. Because this dude, I mean, he only had heart. Sean Bradley.
Oh
My man
man.
was getting dunked on left and right and would come back and just get dunked on again and come back and get dunked on
Yeah.
again. So you gotta have heart to at least get out. And listen, I mean, he had an unfortunate accident and
Yeah.
but yeah, Sean Bradley all day.
Sean
Big heart, man.
Man.
Bradley.
I had season tickets. My dad when I was growing up to the Nets. And he was we used to see him all the time.
Yeah.
He was so huge and so goofy and like lanky, and this dude was just getting bodied everywhere, man. He was just not. He was. He thought he would be good. You would think he would be good, somebody that size, but that's just, yeah,
Yep.
he was all heart. You're right, no talent,
Yeah.
but all
All
heart.
heart. All heart. So Sal, you got a squad
Do
there?
you
Or?
want? Do I defer to Oz? What do you want to
Go
do?
ahead, go ahead. You go.
Okay, all right. Uh, so no Jordan, huh?
No Jordan, no
I would
Kobe.
have to go point guard. I would have to go AI. I
Yeah.
mean, I agree with you on that one. Shooting guard, I would probably go with either Reggie Miller, or like Dwayne Wade, maybe.
I'll stick with
Um,
Reggie. Reggie was
yeah,
all heart.
he was all. I mean, he was a killer too.
Yeah.
So I think that him and Jordan had battles. You know what I mean? So it was. I saw him a lot growing up playing. Small forward. I would probably go Pippen. I think Pippen would be. I mean, with MJ. I mean, you got to have heart to play with MJ, right? Because if you didn't have heart, he wouldn't want you to get you kicked off the team, or you weren't getting the ball. So,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember early in his career, he was getting those migraines because he
mm,
couldn't step up to the plate the way he needed to a couple of those early playoffs, and then
yeah,
he broke through that, and then he became
yeah. Power forward, I'd probably go either Robin or Barkley. I'd go probably since you said Robin, I'll go Barkley
Okay.
because I think Barkley, a guy who should have won a title but never did. It's a shame that he didn't, man. But he was all heart every game. He left it out there on the floor. I mean, he was just tough as nails. That dude, man. He was a beast going up against that guy. Center, I probably would go. I mean, I would probably either put maybe Shaq at center. I mean,
Okay.
again, I mean, there were times where, him and Kobe obviously didn't get along, but,
Mhm.
loves the Bradley
Yeah.
thing. I mean, you can't deny the power that Shaq had and the heart that he had, even though he played with a bunch of different teams, day in and day out, he was a threat out there. So, that would probably be my top five. So,
I like it. Okay. All right, Oz. What you
all
got?
right. So I'm gonna go with a couple of bad boys in my squad, Detroit bad boys,
mm,
and I'm gonna
I was
switch it up.
having before you go. I was having a hard time not picking multiple bad boys. Like
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't even want, but yeah, like you could
So my,
pick the
my
whole
point
squad.
guard, my point guard is gonna be Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
mm,
Because Isaiah, I don't know if y'all remember when he was basically playing
Yeah.
with a broken ankle out
Yeah.
there, scored like 24 in the quarter
Yeah.
against the Lakers. Right before the game, he gave Magic Johnson a kiss on the cheek and then
Yeah.
proceeded to rip his heart out.
mm.
So those bad boys, I used to, on the DL, that was my squad. So if Rob can have multiple squads, then so can
There
I.
you go.
All right.
So Isaiah Thomas at point guard, and Allen Iverson wasn't Allen Iverson until he was put to shooting guard by Larry
Mhm.
Brown. So I always
Mhm.
consider him a shooting guard. So there'll be a small ass team, but those two guys will fight the hell out of you.
Mm.
So you have Isaiah at point guard, and then Allen at shooting guard, and then I'm gonna put Sir Charles as small forward because he was only like 6'4".
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Um, Obviously, growing up and watching him, from coming from Auburn and what he did, and just he wasn't he was cut off of the Olympics team by Coach Bobby Knight, so he took that shit to heart.
Mm.
And then when he made it to the dream team, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
show you guys I belong." He was the MVP of the dream team because
Yep.
he carried that his whole life, that chip on his shoulder. So Sir Charles had heart of all hearts, throwing people out the window and everything. Power forward, the most tenacious rebounder to ever play the game, Dennis Rodman, the
Mhm.
worm, unbelievable talent, nonstop motor, could guard a freaking point guard to a center, whoever you wanted to, he could get, and then he would get under everybody's skin. So he was just
Yeah.
classic for
Oh,
that.
I love him.
And then Hakeem Olajuwon for me, the quiet, but when he went out there, he was gonna lay it all out. He played every possession to the fullest, played defense, offense, whatever you needed from Hakeem, he would do. So that's my starting five.
Nice.
Love it. Love it. Couple comments here. Hail Mary says Hakeem. Robert Ory. Mookie Chilton says Hakeem would fast during the playoffs and dominate. Good call. 1956 Top Sky Matthew says Beef Wennington. Absolutely. Mr. Bill Wennington. Paul Hart out there. Ben Wallace. For sure. Chauncey Billups is another one. Chauncey
Yeah.
Billups, all
Yeah,
hard, lots
that's
of
true.
Motown on this list. And James Benoit says Ben Wallace is my favorite. Stokes says Willis Reed. Yeah, I mean that's we all know the famous story of running out of the tunnel.
Yeah.
So I think Sean Bradley trumps them all. But
Yeah. You win. You win.
yeah, I mean, listen, you gotta have because it's like he comes out, he gets dunked on, and just
Listen, if
like,
you're gonna go Sean Bradley, then I gotta go Manute Bowl.
yeah, man, I know, yeah,
Let's
I
talk
don't-
about heart.
Yeah, I mean, my man was from 3 all the way back here, boy. But Matthew says David Robinson. So
That's a
good one.
there's plenty of guys. Like I said, it's tougher when you if you take Jordan and Kobe out and then
Mhm.
get them out, and then you have to think outside the box a little bit. But definitely fun. Oz, let's get your guy up on here if you want to message him
Yeah.
for card. We
You-
got card
you
of the week.
message-
Oz has
hey.
got a special guest coming in for card of the week. But
Part of the week, huh?
while we're waiting for Oz's guy to come on in, Sal, so is the show that you're doing, is that replacing the Brotherly Love, or is that in
No,
addition
it's so the Brotherly Love show. I mean, I wasn't involved other than I was a vendor and a sponsor
Okay.
of those shows. So those shows are still going on. I definitely recommend everybody still go to the Brotherly Love card show. It's coming up again in a couple months. I think it's in either June or July. It's in Voorhees, New Jersey. So Brotherly Love card show, and then there's a lot of card shows coming up. Mine is in August 11th and 12th. So it's going to be Phillies alumni weekend when the Phillies are they're going to be honoring the 93 NL champs. They're going to be honoring the 83 NL champs. So we're putting a show together surrounding this reunion, and we're going to have 20 plus Phillies signers from all throughout the years. We're going to have 70 plus tables. We're going to have it's a Friday, Saturday show. So it's a 2-day event. It's going to be right at the airport in Philadelphia. So easy to get to location. And it's just going to be a fun time, man. It's going to be a real good time. We're going to have lots of fun throughout the day. We just announced John Kruk is our first signer. We announced Dave Hollins tonight. So if you guys want to check out, it's called the Authentic Expo. So we're on Facebook, Instagram, Authentic Expo. And we're just going to be continuously posting announcements for all our signers, our authentic athlete autograph signings, and cool giveaways and activations that we're going to be doing leading up to the event. So that's going to be August 11th and 12th of this year.
Awesome. Got to get those VIP passes for the cousins. So we'll be
Hell yeah, man. You guys
in
show
there.
up, you'll be treated like royalty in that place.
All
man.
up in there.
Nice.
All up
Prime
in
real
there.
estate up in that.
Yeah,
puppy.
I like that it's a 2-day show. I like that.
Yes.
that.
Friday, Saturday. Yeah.
I like that. Before we move on here, Mookie says Manupo was actually a big time philanthropist, raised money for lost boys of Sudan, lots of heart. Awesome. 1956 Tops guy. Matthew says Mitch Williams, aka Jar Jar Binks. If you remember, that's a throwback to our our May the 4th episode. So Mitch, listen, man. I mean, Mitch, you got your money's worth, man. When Mitch was on the mound, man, it was
Sheesh, wild thing.
I
yeah,
did a
man.
private signing with Mitch Williams a couple months ago,
I remember you said,
and he had some stories, man. He's
I
he's
bet.
he's he's a great guy once you get talking to him,
Mhm.
right? But he can be very intimidating when you first meet him, right?
Okay.
He seems like a very standoffish guy, but once you get him talking about baseball, he
Yeah.
opens up. He opens
You
up
could
to
tell
you.
I used to listen to him on I don't know if it was 94.1
Mm,
WIP, but
right.
when he would start talking, like you said, it was almost like an arrogant, cocky type. But then once he started getting
He
into it,
yeah, he knows his stuff, man.
yeah,
He is a great analyst.
yes,
Great analyst. And it's a shame what happened. He got blackballed by Major League Baseball. But he's, I'm working with him to try and, get some promotions going and get him back on the radio and back into baseball. So Mitch is a great guy, and I've done work with him, and I'm hoping to do more work with him in the future for sure. So
Awesome, awesome. Sounds good. Oh, so it's funny. So James is hiding in the chat, and he's your guy. That's funny. So let's bring Oz's mystery tag team partner in here for a card of the week. James Benoit, what's going on, brother?
Yo, what's up?
what's
All
up,
good, all
brother?
good,
What's going on?
all
what's up,
good.
James?
So listen, I'm bringing on my man James. He's been sliding into my DMs. He's another huge Allen Iverson collector and a '90s collector. So he's been bringing all these bangers into my thing. So he's got me back on the AI train. And he showed me one today where I was like, bro, you're my card of the week. I'm gonna live vicariously through you. So do your thing, man. Show me what you got. Show
Yeah,
everybody the card that we're talking about.
yeah, I'm streaming from mobile right now, so I'm gonna do my best to
Oh, you're
get
good.
it up there. Um,
You're good.
let's see.
Let's see what we
There
can
you
Get
go.
it on the
Oh
camera.
yeah, is that? Oh, hold on
There
a
he
second.
is.
Is that the gold?
Yeah,
Yes, it's the gold.
Ooh,
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
PS8.
just move it over a little bit. Yeah.
There you
There we
go.
go.
So
that's
talk
not.
talk to us what that. Tell us what that is.
So that is an Ultra Stars PSA 8 gold print run, estimated to about 89. So 1/10 of the base Ultra Stars, which is like essentially a silver. It's not a refractor, but it's
Yeah.
hollow foil.
Yeah, I
So
had that in a 10 and I ended up trading it away, but the gold is ridiculous.
yeah,
Yeah.
super tough to find. I found a buddy on the '90s Facebook group and went wild over this card. Had to have it. Moved moved some PC stuff, which for a guy like me, normally to buy or to trade, I got to move some
Mhm.
PC stuff to kind of
Mm.
trade up. But
Yeah.
a card like this, you don't let sit. So
Nah.
I
He
jumped.
showed me that today, bro. I was like, man, because Tony,
Yeah.
like you said, he had the one Gem Mint 10, but it was a silver, right?
Yeah, it was a silver. And actually I got it in the same not now. I got my Dunkin' Donuts in that same group. That group is fire, bro. That
Oh yeah,
this-
yeah,
yeah, I
constant.
used to think I mean I'm not a like Facebook, all that other crap. That's not for me. But for cards, bro, all day. And like it's nice that you can
Constant.
just hone in on like
What's the name of the group?
I gotta tell you
90s,
off the air.
90s.
Yeah. We don't want to
Yeah.
spread the word too much, right? Send me a
All
message.
right,
James.
I'll keep it hush.
No, I mean if you search 90s, but I mean there's tons of them. I mean we might be even two different ones, but 90s basketball cards or stuff
Yep.
like that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I actually was. It's funny you say I was sitting on the couch because I really don't have anything going on right now. Like I have these little sets that I'm building, but I was like, man, I haven't looked over there in a while, and I'm like, oh man, because there's like
Yeah.
some sets that I want to like
Yeah.
90s insert things that I want that I've wanted since I got back in, but they were just too expensive. And sure enough, there they are. I was like, let me just get up out of here because
Yeah,
That-
bro.
there's
That's what we're talking about. There's just so many tangents that you can start going on,
Mhm.
and
yeah,
you really gotta keep focused, man. Because especially, but it's tough. It's tough. You see stuff like that sliding into your DMs, and it's like, man, you start to drool. You start getting that AI fever again. And it's like,
yeah, yeah,
like,
no,
damn.
that's a banger because you don't see them. I've never seen one. I don't know if I saw one on eBay one time, maybe, but I haven't seen one
Not
for
the gold.
sale. Yeah,
Mhm.
so
yeah.
the guy who sold me this card has, I want to say, 6 from the set in PSA 10s.
Wow.
So his goal in making that AI available is to trade up, build up to an MJ PSA 10.
Oof.
And I'm not sure the pop count on that, but that, I mean, I can't even imagine the price tag on that card.
Wow.
Mm.
Yeah, that's actually just sports card therapist Rob had a 90s insert roundtable, and those guys were talking about some of those cards, and there was this one refractor where it doesn't exist, but I remember the guy saying if that card existed in a Jordan, imagine what that would cost. And
Yeah, that was the
I forget which one they were talking about.
I want to
But
say apparitions.
Yes, the apparitions. Yes,
that's okay.
the
Yeah,
refractor.
those yep, those are numbered to 100, but MJ, because of the lockout,
That's
was
what it
only in the base tops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No chrome on MJ.
Yeah. So, man, there's oof,
Telling you, bro.
that's a banger. Oz, you
Congratulations, man. That's a
Yeah.
nice
Thanks,
card.
Nick.
yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Oz is a cheater. I didn't know we could bring in tag team partner for.
Hey man,
Next
I
week
had
I'm bringing.
to, bro. Nah, he
next week
showed
I'm-
me that. I was like, man, there ain't nothing that I got here is gonna top that. I'm living vicariously through you.
It's good. Next week I'm bringing Matthew in here. He's got a Honus, a PSA 9 Honus, and that's gonna be my card of the week. Matthew says the chain of people moving PC stuff to get into grails is what the hobby is all about.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's
And it's tough because you have to make those tough decisions. You have to kind of do like a versus battle of hey, what is this gonna net me in the end, and think of it that way, because it's sad moving PC stuff to you slide stuff across the table that's not easy to part with, but once a card like this comes in the mail, you drool over it for days.
Man, how was it waiting for that mail to get there? Because I mean, oh man,
It was a relatively quick mail day. I bought it and he sent it priority mail, so it was a 2-day turnaround. So pretty quick.
Awesome. That's cool.
See, with those, you just gotta hope that the USPS doesn't screw it up and get it lost.
Exactly.
You just gotta hope that Oz is in your mailman, because he can see the Iversons through the packages. So he knows what they smell like. So, Matthew says those internal struggles are how you figure out what really matters. So, and Hail Mary, actually, he's got Iverson Flair Row 3. I just saw he's going to be building that set. So that's awesome. Again, congrats. Sal, you got anything there for us?
Yeah, well, it's not actually. So this card of the week right here. So this is something that it's not
whatever
actually
of the week.
What is it? Yeah,
whatever of the week, whatever you got.
It's not something that I bought, but it's actually one that I made. So this is an autograph cut Gary Carter card.
Nice.
That I got sent to me by I got to mail it out. I'm delayed on mailing it out, but I made this for my buddy Donnie B. He sent me a Gary Carter cut, and he collects custom art cards. So I took this autograph and I designed the card around it and put it together, and this thing came out. I'm very proud and happy with the way that this one turned out. So this is getting mailed off to my buddy Donnie out in California.
Nice.
So for me, it's I wish I could keep it. So I might be in the market for another Gary Carter auto cut. So, but I enjoy doing that stuff, taking the auto cuts and turning something that's like a little piece of paper into something that could be in somebody's PC. That's one of my favorite things to do. So
love that.
I'm gonna have to find me a nice little Michael Jackson cut. Pay like $6,000 for it, and I'm gonna have to make you.
You can get it slabbed up, and
there you go. That's awesome.
Both worlds.
So fresh. Talking about mail days, fresh in the mail. This is the part of the rainbow I'm trying to build, man. 2021 Topps Chrome Roberto Clemente. This is the mini diamond refractor out of 70 PSA 10 Pop Uno.
Ooh,
that's
got
a
all
beauty.
that little shiny there.
Very nice.
Caliente.
So yeah, man. If I can get that other trade, I can get the whole,
My
rainbow.
man bounced.
Oh, James might have fell out or jumped out. But yeah, thanks James for joining us, man.
Appreciate you, James, for hopping on board. That was super, super dope, man. I seen that card. I was like, wow, bro. Now
Yeah.
he got me
Uh,
back on the AIs.
Yeah. Thank you
I'll
guys.
hop out here too, guys. I'll let you
Oh,
guys
no
do your
worries.
wrap up thing. I don't want to take up too much of your time here, but I
All good.
appreciate you guys letting me hop on, man, for a little bit.
We're always, bro.
Appreciate
All
you,
right.
brother.
All
We'll
right.
catch
Take
you at
care.
the
We'll
show.
talk soon, man.
All right, brother.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, guys.
You got it. Yeah. So getting back to this Clemente, yeah, man, I just got this in today. So I was like, oh yeah, that's perfect timing. It's got the nice little shine. I gotta post it at some point.
Damn,
Uh,
son. So that's a diamond refractor.
yeah, diamond refractor out of 70. It's pretty cool. He's just need
So
one more, man. Just need
so
one more.
for the whole rainbow, how many are there?
Oh, good question. It is you caught me off guard. So
You should-
there's crap. I don't have it numbers in front of me. I think there's 6, the 101 out of 5, the out of 1, 5, 10. I think there's like 7 or 8ish that are numbered, something like that. And then but then there are other base ones. There's a aqua, there's a
Mm.
so I actually have all those. I just need one more, man. It's crazy because it's the one that I made an offer. The guy accepted it. Brother-in-law passes, all distracted, and then it
Well,
is what it is. So
everything happens
yeah,
for a reason, Tony. So when you do finally get it, it'll mean
mhm.
that much more. So
Yeah, for
in due
sure.
time, bro. Patience.
Mhm.
Patience is the key.
Oh yeah. It's on my safe search too. I mean, I look every day for it,
Mhm.
but it doesn't. Three have come up. Two of them were way like really really bad. That it wasn't really kind of worth it. So, but yeah, it is what it is, man. But
Did I
Steve
did I
O
tell
got
you
a
that PSA called me back?
no. I didn't. So what's going on there?
We'll go ahead, set up the
Yeah. So what the thing is, I asked you today with the Millie Bobby Brown because I was like, there's no certificate of authenticity, and you're like, yeah, well, I have. You were saying about you have all the provenance, you have all the stuff, although they didn't let you take a picture of her signing the card. So I asked you, I was like, well, can they, you have all that stuff, but then again, I'm like, well, can they just, authenticate it? Don't they have people who are experts in that stuff? So that can't they just do that on their own? So
Mhm.
what happened?
So yeah, I called up PSA. I got put on the call queue list early. It was around 2 o'clock when I called, so there was 92 callers ahead of me. So it took a little bit of while. I didn't think they were going to call me back. So right before I got here, they called back, and I was like, "Ooh, let me get this call." I recognize the number, and then so I was like, "Listen, this is what happened." Blah blah blah. I told them the whole thing. There was no certificate of authentication. I have all the provenance, anything that they would need. So I told them, "What will I need to do? What do I need to send to make sure that this gets authenticated?" He's like, "Nothing." He goes, "We have our guys to go ahead and authenticate the autograph. They'll know." Whether or not that's a true Millie Bobby Brown auto. So you don't have to send anything. You just have to fill out that encapsulation form that you did previously. And it's as simple as that. So, he just emailed me the form. I just got to print it out, fill it out, and bang bang. uh, you know. And I was thinking, I said, I might as well see if I can sneak in that
Oh
Funko
boy.
Pop and maybe get that, just for that one. See if it is authentic.
Yeah, but here you go. Here you go throwing another loop, and then it's gonna get sent to the wrong
No,
office.
no,
Then
no.
it's gonna
Separate.
okay.
That'd be a separate thing. But I'm just thinking, I might as well just
Yeah,
see if they'll authenticate that auto, and then that'll be my only Funko that I'll get, you know, slabbed up per se.
I got you. All right. Well, yeah. I for some reason that popped in my head. Then later, I was like, yeah, you could just send it in, and it is what it is. Um, so while you were doing that this week, I did my first cracking of and it worked out well. I cracked 2 slabs, and there were these 1956 tops checklists.
Nice.
They were both slabbed up, and the binder continues. But now we're doing operations, and I have a Clemente that I won that's coming. Uh, should be this week, if not, maybe even tomorrow, and I'll be cracking it out, and it's going in the binder, man.
So
So
what was that one? Is that the 1.5?
yeah, it's an SGC 1.5, pretty decent centering. It has like a little crease in the upper left, but it works out well for the binder. Hail Mary's asking, when am I getting a slab to punch out? I don't know. It's at some point. Basically, with that thing is my goal is to get the all the cards first, and then get a say a raw version of the game, complete in box, and then probably a graded one, and then that'll be kind of it. And then there's another piece that I want to get add to it to the little Tyson collection, and that should be it. But then I say that, and then something else will pop up, and I'll definitely add it to that. Um, Victor Invest. Matthew says binder building. Victor Investment says you need to see that binder. Yeah, man. So I will actually. I'll tell you what. We'll go on a live, and you and I, Sean, we can discuss the binder, and we can smell cards. We can do whatever you want, and we'll make it happen. Because this. So actually, today is the first time my wife came down here. She never comes. Like she lives. Everything's up there. She comes down here and sees this. She's like, she's flicking through it like pretty aggressively. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, what is this? I was like, can you please just be cool? Like, it's like,
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like my wife does the same thing.
I'm like,
If it, I'll get something brand new, and
it's
I'm
not a
like,
phone book.
yeah, I'm handling it with kid gloves, and she's like here, like all gripping it up, and what's this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Oh, and she gets all mad. I'm like, chill.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened today. No, Hail Mary, this is not a top loader binder. I did see those. Those are pretty cool. But I don't think it holds as many. I mean, this is
let me grab mine real quick.
go ahead. This is 340 cards here. So yeah, like I said, she comes through, and it was very aggressively paging through it, like some of the yeah, exactly. I was like, that's exactly. I said, yo, just chill out. Like she flicking through it, and some of the cards were like starting to come out of the sleeves here. And I'm like, that's not kind of how you treat this, So, but yeah, so there it is, Sean. I'll definitely get you hooked up, and we'll do some kind of live or something like that, because I would like to page through it. And there's a lot of good baseball names through here, man. Some of these guys, and there are some others that I've yet to collect that I'm excited to see, because when you look at the checklist and you see the names of some of these guys, you're like, geez. So what do you got there, Oz?
Oh. Let's see.
That's Oz's binder. And Steve says that just means we're gonna have to go through their makeup bags now. Oh, look at that. What are we looking at?
We're looking at 1970s. Let me see. I don't even know what this is. I forget.
Give me some of the names of those guys, because some of them guys got
We
really,
got
really good.
oh, these are all coaches. I forgot about this. This is my first page. Like if
Oh,
you
okay.
can you see it?
Yeah, I like how the coaches are in oh, okay, they're coaches now. Okay, I gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, so you got Don Nelson there.
So we got Don Nelson, Reggie Theus was a coach at one time, Matt Gukas, Jerry Sloan, Rick Adelman, um, who else? Mike Dunleavy.
That's cool, man, to see those guys back in those days. Yeah, dude, like the binder gang, hashtag binder gang is a thing, man.
Yeah. And then these are
So
just like the little
okay, so you have like the 83. Okay.
81. Yeah.
Oh, 81. Oh yeah, I'm talking about 83, 81. That's cool, man. Now, see, you don't have. I have a Mayo Smith, manager, Philadelphia Phillies. This is something that I'll show you. Put this up on the screen so you guys can see. But I mean, look at this guy. He's it's a weird pose. That's him. Obviously, that you would think it's third base. Putting the stop sign up to have the runner, or either that, or he's pissed off at some kind of umpire. So,
You want to see something cool?
yeah, man, go ahead. What do you got there? What are we looking at? Oh, so you got the Dream Team?
Yep.
Nice. Dude, collecting those Dream Team cards, like, I mean, we didn't know anything about that being junk back then. And I don't see that as junk at all.
No.
But, it was super overproduced. But I mean, like, that was cool. Like, I only ever had two of it, and it's still Barcelona. I had the two end pieces. I didn't have the middle one.
And then
So,
here is Basketball Heroes Upper Deck, all Jerry West. I don't know if you can see that.
oh, nice.
So
That's
that's a
cool.
whole subset of Jerry West.
Nice. So apparently my guy Mayo is about 80 years old, and he was also Tigers skipper at one point. So, dude, there's so much history looking through these things. Like that's a, like see how you are now. Like that's you don't get that with when you buy a slab and you put it. I mean, I collect them all, but the way that these binders, these old school stuff, it's just like I said, it's a different way to hobby, and I
I got that
love the
Sean
way it.
Bradley rookie. Ooh,
That's awesome. So
Binder gang.
hashtag binder gang, man. So listen, man, let's wrap it up. Another Thursday. Appreciate you guys joining us as always. The chat. Kudos to all you guys. Big tip of the hat. It's always fun seeing that. Oh, little Magic Johnson. Look at you. Save that for next week. Save that.
Oh, that's the shiny binder.
Yeah, we got to talk about the shiny binder next week. We're going to have to make that a segment. Oz's binder of the week.
See that? Everybody's sleeping thinking Oz don't got the binders. I got binders upon binders, baby. Don't let me get my Disney Caca Wow binder either.
Oh, boy. And you got that other Disney stuff is coming up. So listen, man. So let's wrap it up real quick. Great show. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate you. Hail Mary says they had those USA team sets from the Texaco gas stations back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Stukes, absolutely, man. Appreciate you joining us. Matthew says the binder show off is the peak of the show. Yeah, I only have one binder. I mean, I don't know. We'll
Better
see.
step your game up, ho.
Yeah, I know, man. It's listen, when I went into that 90s Facebook group today, that's exactly what I got right up out of there because there was all this binder material. I was like, nope. Let me get up out of here, man. That was
real quick recap of the game. Boston Celtics won 110-97. Game the series is now 3-2. What do you think? Call it now. Who's winning it?
Boston. Good question. Man, at this point, Boston has all the momentum. It'd be hard to say no. I think Cinderella might be turning, might be turning into a pumpkin, man. I don't know.
Jalen Brown said, "Don't let us win one.
Yeah,
let us win one. It's over."
I mean, I guess I'm a prisoner of the moment right now, and I might say that the Celtics. So, I guess
as much as I hate them bastards,
yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm a believer in Himmy. I think he got one more in him. He might go to 7. But they got to have at least one in them. Come on, Himmy.
So
Steve Splinter says Boston in 7.
There you go. Hero is cleared for play. It might be too little too late, but we'll see.
It's never too late for a hero, baby.
Yeah, that's true. So, all right, brother. That's all we got for today. Check us out on Monday. We got a nice little episode on Monday. Little tag team action.
Yes, sir. Another up and coming duo. In the hobby.
Yeah, they're on their way to 5 million followers after they come on our show.
Yeah, you know how that goes. So they gotta get blessed in the hobby. Once they get that blessing from the cousins, then it's on to the break of dawn.
Yeah, there you go. Steve is hoping Miami for Joker's sake. Yeah, I guess. Good old Joker. Listen, at this point,
Oh, bro.
Tip of the hat.
I was listening to what's that? Shoot, it's coming. The podcast, the card, gee willikers, with Card Collector 2.
Okay, yeah.
What are they called?
Card Talk.
Card Talk. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I was listening to Card Talk, and the Jokic talk was unbelievable. If you let those 3 guys tell it, Jokic is the greatest player to ever play the game of basketball. I almost threw up in my mouth a couple times. Listen, he's great. But goddamn, he's not the best ever. Everybody, let's bring it down just a little bit.
There's a bit of an age gap there. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. He's the best ever I've seen.
Well, I mean, if you only been here for a few
25 years on
so you can only and that's not there. You can only judge them with what you see. So that's all.
Yeah, Steve Splinter is right. That's the first time they mentioned Joker, and now all of a sudden. He's like the greatest thing since sliced bread. First time they mentioned him on the pod. Like, get out of here, man.
There you go. So listen, man. That's all we got. Take us home, brother.
Well, we're going to end this like we always do. And that is keep focused, keep positive, and keep collecting. Hey, yo, Tone, bring the beat back.